Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be with y'all today. Good to see a Brayherd, good to see a Gale, good to see Bad Rocks, good to see a Spooky, good to see a Tantalus, good to see a Step Zero. And Brayherd, congratulations. You have won the Crown of Furstendom this day. The Crown of Crab. Because we're going to be finding a lot of crab. Because we're continuing our adventure in Kingdom Hearts 3 with Pirates World. Everything is crab. Carcinization hit the Kingdom Hearts universe hard. Hello, Craig. Good to see you. Congrats to Craig and Gale on the 5 stream streaks. Thank you so much. What was I going to say? I had a fun but busy weekend. We had our Best Halo 25th anniversary celebration. It was a live recording of the radio show. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that's everything, though. So it's good to be back with y'all. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting something, chat? I've got both lights on. You're there. Everything's working. Yeah, you know, whatever. Let's go. Let's play some Kingdom Hearts. Yenzo trusts Chip and Dale. So last time we were noodling about in gummy space. And getting enough crabs to repair the ship in Port Royal so that we could actually go back to gummy space.
The real cat eats us.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen crabs like those? Some of them skitter back out to sea.
Who knows what other shores they might turn up on?
Yes, the Jack who is helping us is not, in fact, the real Jack.
Look at those clouds.
That must be Shipwreck Cove, the place that Jack told us about.
No.
Prepare to set sail! Oh, didn't we
I've been
sail
playing a lot
past
of
that
Ys
rock
10
before?
recently, and I just beat it. The boating is weirdly similar, but so different.
We can sure explore
It's a lot better
of
in
this
3.
place. Get 'em! Fire!
Where's that last one? Oh. My other left.
I call winds! We've got 'em now! Our friends are waiting for our help. Jack said Shipwreck Cove, right?
Yeah, let's go.
He did, and in fact, say Shipwreck Cove. If only we knew what Shipwreck Cove was. Oh my goodness, I just wanted to get past here.
Fire!
Will you quit respawning? Wait, when did you finish collecting crab? The Tuesday before I left for Easter. As part of that random bonus episode where we finished Yoshi's Island and then did get crab adventure.
Yes!
A lot of wrecked ships. No, that can't possibly be right.
Do you need time to be prepared?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, we need to go and prepare, or we'll only get in the way.
Make my way downtown. Do. Ow. Strangely enough, the coconut tree is not where I get coconuts. Yes, Sora, coconuts. The coconut tree is what I wanted you to focus on here in this equation. Not the giant shy hoodoo.
Here we go. Back off. Take this. Here we go.
What if Sora, but figure skater?
Back off.
I think I missed the part where Sora learned to fly. That was Kingdom Hearts 2, really.
Here we go.
Yeah, and 2, he really learned how to just never touch the ground again. Now, this world is not very popular amongst the fans, as I understand it, but I like it. But that's because I like just exploring. So, little islands with nooks and crannies to find and get things in. Team Nerd. But it's not even Leonard Nimoy in this one. Also, good to see a Bacon and KMX. So this is the only world people like. Okay, so no one's right. No one knows what they want. This is so true. It's me. I'm the one who doesn't know what he wants. That's why I fiddle with the settings of my jack constantly. I would put San Francisco as the lowest. I do not like San Francisco. I think it would have been a lot better if it was at the beginning, but you know. You might think, oh, it's big, it's open world, there's lots of nooks and crannies. Yeah, but there's nothing to find. Did Asynchronous Kingdom Hearts 1 Archipelago? How'd that go? I think it's a lot of fun. Kingdom Hearts 1 especially, like, I think it works even better than 2 in some ways because of how they have the worlds programmed as something you have to find. 2... honestly felt a little too easy. You want Big Hero 6 too? That's fair. That's entirely valid. But you can want that and still say that the world is bad. This is fun now that it's working properly. Let's go. What am I using right now? I'm using Crystal Snow. I can upgrade it. Ever After's a fun one to use, so I'll level it up a bit. Big Hero 6 is one of your favorite movies of Kingdom Hearts 3. Really? I did not know that. Big Hero 6 is a Marvel property. Everything belongs to the mouse in one way or another these days, so why not?
Okay, we're off.
Oh, you still haven't finished Kingdom Hearts 3? I think, honestly, The Last World is a lot of fun gameplay-wise, and is what makes it worth it. Got rejected from a job opening at the Mouse last weekend. I'm sorry. I hope the job search is still going well otherwise.
It ends here.
I mean I just mean the last act in general. Final World is a part of that.
A pirate's life for me.
Nerds.
The one next time you in that direction.
Never mind, we have a cutscene. One. Hello, Mel.
Luke
Scarlet
Third.
Caleb is very pretty. I wish we could explore it more. You do a bit in
You
Remind,
do
but
know
not
how
enough.
to make good time. Yes, one must simply marvel at your celerity. But
At my
such
celery?
compulsive behavior is eventually going to bring you nothing but sorrow.
Uh-oh, Mel.
Lost him
Please,
again.
please stay safe.
How are we gonna go after him?
First, get those harmless.
Right.
At some point, someone go tell me to run my errand instead of letting myself get stuck at work. Go run your errand, Roxy. Do it. I bet you won't. No, let's hope indeed. Hey, JM.
Hey, game!
Really, JM? I have the exact opposite opinion.
It ends here.
Now you're right. Just go well. I'm already distracted. Let's distract her more. Distract her so much she can't do her errand. That should be the jam. Like, will Roxy do her errand?
Hear my call.
His interactions in Keyblade Graveyard are fine, but it's so much centered here in this world, and I feel like they did not know how to write him in the original game. Getting $10. Go do that errand. Go get those $10.
Fire. Fire. I call wins.
I like that those were going after that in the mini cutscene. It does not count as an actual cutscene, by the way.
Get him. Fire. Hear my call. Here we
Yeah,
go.
but that's kind of what makes him mysterious and too. Plus, I think some interactions with him from Days. No, hit the glowy weak spot. The literal, actual glowy weak spot. Bullets, no homing. No, they're really misbehaving right now.
Cannons! Take this!
The problem is it like locks on, but it doesn't know, the lock-on doesn't know how to lead. Yeah, him interacting with other orc members is good. That's usually when he's at his peak. But
Take this!
except that I find these interactions here with Vexen just kind of weird.
It ends here. I can't look! Cannons! Take this!
Fine, disappear into the mist again. Gorilla ships in the mist. Weep, 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 weep.
It ends here. We got him now!
Do you think they wrote the nobody's names before or after the no X versions? I think they came up with them.
He's
Simon,
plotting to
they
swipe
wrote
the
them
chest in the heat
with
of
the rule
battle.
in mind, but being like, we don't have to worry about that right now.
Cove.
Fast!
Your wife said no. Your wife is right. My ship was quite damaged. Now it's magically better. Did I explore the other islands? I explored some of them. We're not gonna necessarily do like a full explore of everything. Gail's wife let him buy an espresso machine last week. Ooh. Well, that's because she wants espresso, I bet.
Huh?
Crab. 2.
Guys! Are you okay?
Sora, you're a welcome sight.
We've all been quite worried about you.
I'm worried about your accent.
Isn't that...
Sora?
Where's Jack? And Tia Dalma?
I'm afraid you've missed a few things while you've been gone.
Jack. He's been taken by Cutler Beckett.
Yes. And Beckett commands Davy Jones and the Flying Dutchman.
These guys have no idea what any of that
We
means.
could defeat them if we released Calypso, the goddess of the sea, who was really Tia Dalma, bound in human form. But it didn't work.
Aye, a fickle goddess Calypso be.
So what now?
Nothing. Our final hope has failed us.
Wow, way to give up.
Use that key to free me, Sora, and you have my most certain promise. All the power and the sea you ever wished for be yours.
So, Tia Dalma was Calypso. She's
You don't
the
even
one
know
who
what
was helping
Calypso
us.
is.
And you know what? I think that she might just be able to help us again. You can't give up now. We can all fight. Together. The sea belongs to everyone.
I said that. Don't copy my expressions.
Huh? You did?
Sometimes it just goes in one ear and right out the other.
Wait, really?
Don't let plot holes get in the way of progressing story. Well, that's good, because that's all of Kingdom Hearts, especially 3.
It's not over. There's still hope for us. You will listen to me. Listen! The Brethren will still be looking here to us. To the Black Pearl to lead. And they will see free men and freedom! Our enemy will see the flash of our cannons and hear the ring of our swords, and they will see the courage of our hearts as we succeed and they fail. Gentlemen, hoist the colors!
Hoist the colors!
Hoist the colors!
Sora, what's the colors? Half-Life 3 confirmed. Hoist up the thing. Batten down the what's it. It's crazy to think that this game almost came out on the PS3 originally. And now it runs on PC.
Oh, I knew it was you!
So that's the Flying Dutchman.
The chest Jack told you about has the heart of Davy Jones in it. There's no way it's the chest that you're looking for.
No one knows what's in the chest we're looking for. If it's a black box, then we are to collect it. Simple as that.
You don't know what's in it? Then why do you need it? How will you know you found it?
Got me. Regrettably, the higher-ups haven't deigned to tell us. But they did say the box contains hope.
Huh?
That's all you'll get from me.
I'm trying to make a portmanteau of Lucia and Pandora now.
It's far too chaotic to find a box
Luchadora.
like this. Perhaps I'll remove that ship from the picture.
Oh, that's not right.
Now this should afford me time to look.
They're looking for hope?
Will and the others need
Whatever they're
us.
looking for, we won't find out until
Yeah,
at
I
least
know.
another 2 games from now. I maybe should have actually explored the islands more so as to level up my ship, but we live here now.
Take this. Get 'em. Cannons.
Will this make investors happy? Well, he does like the stocks. Hope is Pizza Party.
Take this.
That sounds like a weird band name. Yeah, I know the Black Pearl is under attack. I'm working on it.
Take this.
Let's do this!
Keep going, Sora!
Take this. Fire.
Hope is Pizza Party being ska band. Yeah. Yeah.
Take this. Cannons. Cannons. Get 'em.
Weep.
Fire.
I call flames!
Okay, we're fine. Everything is fine.
So, you got what you want. Perhaps you're the better player among us. However,
Amogus?
I must
Sus?
demand you give that to me.
Pardon?
3?
You must be mistaken, mate. I'll not be giving you anything.
Then I
the candy
invoke the
spin.
right
Oh,
of
dear.
parley.
No. No parley. Look around. We're a little busy. And besides, I've already got all that I want, mate. Yep. Still works.
Why did you have to check? You literally just saw that it works.
Jack Sparrow, are you lost? Prisoners don't belong on deck. Your station is in the brig!
That's not a station.
We're here!
Tables have turned, mate.
For when the turns of tables.
Hardly. Just a few more maggots to join my crew!
Big dramatic moment. We're going to interrupt it. This might be a good spot to find some ingredients. Unfortunately, these are the ingredients I have. And K-Max has requested one as well. Thank you so much, K-Max. How nice of you. And Rota. Let me do these candy spins first. I forgot to add the mango chili lime peeps. Oh, those are gone. I forgot. I need to remove those. Oh. Ginger and musk. Oh boy. Anyways, for the Rota. I had a thought on it. Let me. Oh yeah. So we're starting the. So you had the feeding of the 5,000 in our daily readings, and now we're starting the Bread of Life discourse. Very appropriate for Easter. And Christ starts by talking about, if you have the bread of life, you'll have food that endures for forever. And it can sometimes be hard to feel that way, to be honest, in the interim. And I'm not denying it by any means. I'm not denying the truth of the Eucharist and Christ and his presence, but that in our weakness, it can be hard to feel it. And so we can address that and sit with it and say, where is this coming from? Why does this feel hard? And journey forward into that ever deeper relationship so we know it more deeply. Anyway, ginger steel, musk stick. Those are flavors. Magic tournament. He's the mascot. Why did you stay in one spot on your ship? And then Jack and Sora said, pew, 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 pew. Weirdly enough, the musk, which is a milder flavor than you might think, is overpowering the ginger.
Here we go. Back off.
But is making it spicy? Weird. Like frozen fractals, spiraling all around.
My shield ready.
gets in yon corner. You think we'll get Pirates of the Caribbean World in 4 due to this? Due to Fallout? I have no idea. That requires us to even get a Kingdom Hearts 4. You got $11. Let's go. Oh. Oh, that was very tapioca flavored ginger. Because that's what the steels are made of. Oh yeah, I'm using a pirate ship on a pirate ship. You know an English teacher's favorite pastry? A synonym roll. Sora, please. He has half a health bar left.
Care to surrender?
The chest! Hand it over! Jack! Stay out of this, boy!
You want to take some acting lessons? Also 4. How did they get up there? 5, yeah. Actually, following the rules, yeah, 5. Cookies.
Oradonna! You'll see no mercy from me!
That's why I brought this.
Mister, did you forget? I'm a heartless wretch! Ah, love. A dreadful bond. And yet, so easily severed.
That's not true. I may
Oh,
still
yeah,
have a
Sora
lot to learn
monologue.
about love. but I know what it means to share my heart with others. And it will take more than you to break a bond like that.
What does a whelp like you know about the heart?
The whelp has seen far more of the world than you know.
What of it? Tell me, William Turner. Do you fear death?
A line that would have been more impactful if he had said it earlier.
How disappointing. So this is all they meant when they said heart.
Yes, a literal actual heart.
Been chasing the wrong box this whole time.
Petty tonic. Holding life and death in the palm of one's hand.
You're a cruel man, Jack Sparrow.
Cruel is a matter of perspective.
Is it?
I like that Sora's instinct is to not draw his Keyblade, but just to go full ape mode.
You will not forestall my judgment.
No, but they're going to expedite it. Honestly, this one has some of the darkest moments in the series.
Jack, can't we save him?
Part of the ship, part of the crew. The Dutchman must have a captain. Elizabeth, say goodbye.
Thank goodness, Jack. The Armada's still out there. The Endeavor's coming up hard to starboard. And I think it's time we embrace that oldest and noblest of pirate traditions.
Never actually been one for tradition. In we go!
6.
It's nothing personal, Jack. It's just good business.
I'm gonna be honest. He looks incredibly stoned there. This is the most noble pirate traditions getting drunk. Yeah. Relevant 428, man. I was director of the East India Trading Company, man.
Ready on the guns!
Full canvas!
Aye! Full canvas!
Fire!
Fire! Fire!
To shreds, you say? This scene was very well done in the movies. It's very cinematic.
Good business.
With the slow-mo of him walking down the stairs. And, like, I get that, you know, if a flagship sinks, that's low for morale. But there's still, like, 20 other ships there.
The Flying Dutchman must have a captain. Just wed, and now she and Captain Turner must live in different worlds. One day ashore, 10 years at sea. It's a steep price.
Will.
Your chariot awaits, Your Highness.
Mrs. Turner.
We didn't have the wedding scene, though.
Yes, the boss.
Take care.
Jack. Thank you.
One day isn't enough time.
Well, there's always enough time for hearts to say what's true. Sora, you know better than anyone. It only takes a moment to connect with your mates.
Who are most of these people?
There's always enough time.
Where do they all come from?
And I'm going to find them.
Well, maybe in this universe she is gonna join the Flying Dutchman. Crab! Weirdos and screwballs alike. Oh, it's Chat! Chat was on that ship. The Caribbean. The Wheel of Fate is turning. Rebel 1. Shout out to all my Blaze Blue fans. Oh, 7.
Hey, Axel.
Huh? Hey, liking the look. Cut your hair, too.
Mm-hmm. So you gonna try yours on?
I don't know. Maybe later.
But you always wear the same thing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is how you pick me out of a crowd. I make myself easy
Yeah, but there's
to
13 other
remember.
people who wear the exact same thing.
How thoughtful.
Huh? Oh, nah, not really.
Our
Not the hair.
training's almost finished.
Yeah.
Somewhere inside me is Naminé. If we can free Roxas, we can free her too.
I guess so.
Naminé was made when Sora freed me from his heart. So, now that she's a part of me again, I figured all was right. But she can't look at this forest, feel the wind on her face. None of it. And if she could, it would be different for her. Her time was short, but she lived it, and that makes it hers. What right did I have to take those feelings and experiences back?
She's an
They don't
extension
belong
of
to
yours,
me.
though. It was the
Nothing's
way
as it should be.
Nobody's are your
Not for
body.
her or Roxas.
I know. Way back when I was a kid, I met this other weird kid. Somehow we became fast friends. Never saw him again, nearly forgot about him too. Then I met Roxas. Couldn't believe it. The two of them were identical. Oh, I didn't tell Roxas. Didn't want him to go vanishing on me too.
Kate, this kid you met was Ventus, first of all.
The kid's name was Ventus.
And you do it for like
He's one
an
of the
hour.
lost Keyblade wielders we're looking for. Think he's still got me memorized?
Oh yeah, very memorized.
Now that we're going back, I'm worried about everything.
Well, you don't have to worry alone anymore, Axel.
Sometimes you hang out with someone, they have a lasting impact for no reason. Yeah, they care. In answer to your question, though, Bacon, most commonly it is uncle, usually within the family. The title father doesn't use some. I can't speak universally. I imagine some guys do it, but I'd say the vast majority are like, nope. Just, you know, so for me, with my family, just Evan. Also 8.
Rico, look! Rico!
Yeah, the car keyblade. I really don't like it. I was 25 at the top in the Jambling today. Why does he not keep using Kingdom Key D? It is literally the Keyblade of the Realm of Darkness. Nine.
It's about time. Hey, shut it.
Have you three just been stalking there the entire time?
What now?
How now, brown cow? Don't they have school? No, they're in summer break.
Please, I have created enough victims.
Yes, you have. All of the children sacrificed in the name of your research. So make things right.
Yeah, Ansem's not a
Told you
good
I
dude.
did not take her. Her disappearance was why I put a stop to the research.
And that makes you honorable? You used Roxas and Naminé and threw them away. I doubt there's a merciful bone in your body. You took the girl and hid her. Now show me the data you are hiding here.
Roxas and Naminé. If there is any reason that I still draw breath, it is to atone for what I did to them.
He said Roxas. Yeah.
That man needs us.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think you were listening to what he was saying, man.
Girl, what is it that you expect will happen?
The child's memory holds a mystery to unravel. One concerning the battle we seek between light and darkness. You know something, and that
it's perpetually
is why
Twilight
you
in
stopped
Twilight
the
Town, so it may as well
experiments.
perpetually be summer break as well.
You are completely deluded, Xehanort.
We shall soon see.
Yoo-hoo! Excuse me!
Who are you?
Oh, well, I'm looking for a friend who used to live here.
No
I
one
can't
lives
believe this
here.
plan works.
Be gone.
But, sir...
No, not one more step. Get out!
I love how angry, and, like, just like upset dad he is.
Hey, loser!
Like, no more steps.
Hayner!
The kids that knew Roxas are Data, yeah. Yeah, maybe don't yell, "Hey, loser."
The squiggly things?
They protected me.
Hayner, get a move on!
Oh, okay.
So why doesn't Xemnas just show up and be like, "Hey, nobodies, guess
I
what?"
serve the organization. This is treason. I see what is happening. Have it your way, then.
I still don't understand that. This is my third time playing this game, and I still don't get what's going on there.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, I think.
Nobody knows the twists and turns of Twilight Town better than us.
You are Roxas's friends.
That's right. So you know him too?
Oh yes, quite well.
Pay dirt. Guess it was worth staking out the old mansion after all, because this guy here
I see
is
what's
what
happening.
I call
Character
a
share
lead.
with the rest of the class? Yeah, exactly.
That's the only proof we have that Roxas was our friend.
Tell us about him. We want to know him better.
My dear master, you are safe.
Who's there?
Evan, is that you? So, those nobodies were your doing.
I have been
Well, I guess
waiting
it's
for
only fair
this.
because the amount of times I've been called
Gave
even.
up a normal life in order to plant myself in the organization. And when I heard Xehanort had gone looking for you, I realized it was my chance to find you as well.
I still don't get why the nobodies are listening to you.
For you see, I too wish to atone.
No, you don't. You just want to further your research, and you're just playing the field. Father, even. I can neither confirm nor deny. Wow, are we seriously already at San Francisco? Where am I going? That's the way I'm going. Doo-doo-doo. Nope. Not powerful enough to break that crystal. I might seriously need to do more time in Gummy Space in order to be prepared for the next world. Because the base High Wind is not that great. Cerveza Cristal. No, I'm not sponsored by them. That'd be pretty funny, though. Ow. Have some random splices like how they edited the Star Wars movies. Get ready for a training montage. It's the last world for some reason. Oh, they did it for Lord of the Rings too? Wild.
Oh, wow!
It's a bridge!
Oh, cool!
Come on, let's go!
Oh, but I want to take a look at the big city!
Yeah, it does seem pretty exciting.
Look, if I were
It
director
feels
Kingdom
so
Hearts 4,
metropolitan.
I would have made this
Cosmopolitan?
the first world. Oh, be nice.
Now what?
I gotta tell Riku what a blast this place is.
Dude, it's
But
an
we
abandoned
just got
bridge.
here. We haven't even done anything
All
yet.
the cars are just parked randomly.
The Heartless!
Come on! Whoa!
Go! Are you okay?
What in...
Go! Baymax!
Go-Go's suit has shielded her from a major injury, but the blow she sustained to her head has caused a mild concussion. We should take caution and not move her until we can fully stabilize her head.
Got it.
Oh, cool! That's a robot!
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
Oh! Wow! Cool! This rules!
This is really like the only world in the whole Kingdom Hearts series where
Remember our other problem?
Whoops!
no one is
Oh,
looking at
yeah.
Sora's hair going, wow, that's weird. Everyone's just like, yeah, that's normal.
Who are you?
Oh. I'm Sora.
And I'm Goofy.
We can tell that, but what's your name?
Name's Hero. You mind helping us fight those things?
Huh?
Our team's called Big Hero 6.
Sure.
Yeah, I would have made this like, because like the game opens with Sora being like, how do I get my strength back? Like, this would have been a good place to go because it's all training montages and learning. Like, and you could do it just
Let's
with the
go.
setting of the
Baymax.
original Big Hero 6 instead of after the movie, but whatever. Also 9? That was 9, I think? Or was that 10? That was 10. $11. Yeah, we're gonna say that was 11 actually, because there's a scene in the sewers as well. I don't like this cutscene counting thing. Gale's giving me homework while I'm streaming.
Sora, go from car to car.
Pew, 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 pew.
He tried to crush us.
13.
You may reduce the risk of injury by seeking cover.
Imagine if we counted that as a cutscene. How many there would be. Excuse me, sir. I did not say that you're allowed armor. Oh, I did not mean to go into rage form there. I meant to do player force, but it ate my input, so we live here now. I'm stuck behind this railing. What is this? A rail shooter? Thank you. I'll be here all week. Nice dramatic backflip there, guys. $14.
Not cool.
People like spectacle, not truth.
Yeah, who needs quality reporting when you can just make stuff up?
I don't get it. I mean, didn't they see how awesome we were? Sure, those things landed a couple of good hits, but we had chem balls and laser hands and fire breathing!
Well, it really didn't matter. They beat us.
Where'd they come from?
Well, why don't we ask the guys who actually stopped them?
Hiro, you never introduced us.
Oh, right. Well, this is the gang. That's Go-Go. He's Wasabi.
How you doing?
And that's Honey Lemon.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What? I'm Fred.
Ah, yes,
Don't
my
be
favorite form
alarmed.
of food. Bread.
This is not my real body.
Good. For a second, I thought this was the monster we...
Those three are Sora, Donald, and Goofy. The,
Keyblade Hero 3!
I am detecting minute contractions in your faces and shoulders, perhaps due to the garage's brisk temperature. To remedy that, I will give each of you a hug and warm you with my internal heat source.
Save X is the best.
Sora, you know Donald and I don't have keyblades.
So? Are we heroes or aren't we?
The monsters.
Well,
Tell us how
actually,
you
you stopped
managed
some
to take
monsters,
them
so you
down.
are heroes here. But anyway.
They're called the Heartless, and they're drawn to the darkness inside people's hearts.
Ooh, now we're talking. Light versus darkness. Classic conflict.
Would you calm
Fred
down,
gets it.
Fred?
What?
This is serious.
Very serious.
But he's
We
right.
don't have any way to fight them.
Wait, so we're just gonna give up?
With our current
Yes.
skill set, my analysis places our chances at 0.00000.
We get it, Baymax.
Hey, don't sweat it. The three of us will go take care of the Heartless for you. Right? Donald? Goofy?
Did he say a heart? Did they say the thing? They've said the thing many times. Hey, how's it going, Inca?
We're going too.
It's okay. We got it.
Mm-mm. We have to help. My brother would have.
Yes.
Yeah. Great, but don't we need a plan?
We train up. When heroes are brought low, they get new powers. It's Shugyo time.
Did you read that in Geeks Quarterly?
Fred's actually not wrong. I may have an idea.
You woke up from a nap. Well, I hope you have less of a headache
device?
Yeah. Cool, huh? It creates a CG overlay that augments your vision.
now.
While you wear it,
Is this
this
15?
device sees everything you do and logs it.
Huh?
How many times
You
did they say heart?
put it on your
Oh.
face.
Oh, I'm glad you have less of a headache now.
Heartless! Donald! Goofy!
Why are you panicking so much?
There's no Heartless here.
Huh? But,
Whoa,
See,
chill,
and
Sora.
this
Just
would have
take
made
the
more
AR
sense if he
device
was like,
off.
"Oh no, I am weaker and I'm just starting out." But it's
Wow! I have no idea how you're doing it, but this is cool.
Thanks. But so far, the map data only covers San Francisco. I need to expand it.
Now can we Shugyo?
yeah, but
Not yet, Fred. He's still learning.
we can only go to San Francisco
Sora,
here. Like,
All you need to do is run through some courses that Hero scripted. Like a mini game.
We'll put a tracer on your movements so we can.
Shugyo! Shugyo! Shugyo!
So we can Shugyo.
Shugyo! Shugyo!
great. Does someone
I
explain
guess
what that means?
Shugyo's like training. That's a good idea. We could probably use the practice.
You just fought a giant octopus man.
I can Shugyo by installing new combat data.
Huh?
Also, it makes less
Hey.
sense for them to be like, "Oh, we're no good at
Let's
being
just
heroes
try it
because
out."
this is after the movie." They've already.
Let's see. Nice!
Oh boy, let's find some more.
Shout when you're ready, Sora.
It's not a hidden Mickey. It's a lucky emblem. Totally different.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, guys. Go through the rings and head for the goal.
Okay.
Go through the rings. What is this? Superman 64? Microsoft Excel. Correct for most participants. Wow.
Head towards the indicator on your AR device.
I'm going to assume you were one of them.
If you start to veer off, you'll know. I set up a virtual boundary. Just keep your eyes on the goal. Okay.
Go through the rings. What is this? Superman 64?
I'll keep you in the hook on the rings and head for the goal. Okay. Go through the rings and head for the goal. Okay.
Microsoft Excel. Correct for most participants. Wow. I'm going to assume you were one of them.
I'm set up a virtual boundary.
Be on board for the Minecraft. Dear we beloved, we are here gathered today in Minecraft for marriage. Hello? No. Okay, you're gonna make me press a button.
You gotta keep up, Sora.
Jump side to side and go through the ring. You got this.
I'm trying to jump from side to side. Oh, it's there's a special button for it, not just the jump button. Marriage is what wings us. Together. Hooray. This is awesome. Now that's the Lego movie.
Come on, can't we do this on the ground?
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
You sure you played this before? Look, I haven't played it in a few years. I've generally blocked San Francisco from memory. Oh, is there a Princess Bride homage in the Spaceballs movie? That trailer?
Side of that building. And watch out for enemy fire.
Don't you just love chemistry?
It's an odd thing to say to your friend. Don't you just love chemistry? I too love Breaking Bad.
Full superhero.
Nope, too early.
You are near the goal.
Why is he using that Keyblade in this cutscene? Like, that's not the Keyblade I have equipped. I don't even have that equipped to any of the slots. Oh, right. It's because they make him do the gun thing.
Interesting. Gravity. Not binding.
No. Gravity is still binding him. He's just running faster.
Hey, wait! My laser hands can be projectiles! Ha!
Ooh. Change the weapon, change the attack.
Soul Knife Rogue.
Whoa! A freeze attack! Fire and ice.
Good job, Fred.
Diametrically opposed. Or so we thought!
Fred never played Chrono Trigger.
Thanks, Sora. That should be enough data. And I think you sparked some new ideas. Yeah, Hero. I think there's a way to find signals in my electric
Sonic Boom.
log out.
No.
Hey, are you listening?
Oh yeah, there's summons in this game. Maybe I should use one of them one day. Play Sonic 06. No, I don't hate myself that much. Donald, you fire actual magic. You don't need to be... Look, the last time we uploaded Sora's consciousness to a robot, it went very poorly.
That should do it.
We interrupt your scheduled program to
Also
deliver
16?
this breaking news. Moments ago, the city's South District was attacked
17,
by numerous
I guess?
unidentified creatures.
I'm losing track.
Witnesses described losing sight of victims during the mayhem. Many also said they saw strange floating heart symbols in the vicinity of the missing victims. City police are urging citizens to stay at home. For those just joining us, only minutes ago, the South District was attacked by...
We were watching that.
Go time!
Yes.
Oh no, there's two of them. Let's change Happy Gear for Wheel of Fate. Now let's put on... Yeah, Master's Ring seems like a good one. Also, I like that this guy's just got a Moogle hanging out in his home. Just like, hey, you know, whatever. No, I need more Damascus. Can I synthesize or buy Damascus? Can I synthesize a whole ancient city? No, I can only buy fluorite. Oh well.
Sora.
Oh.
I am shocked and amazed.
I'm picking up some kind of threat.
I think I'd call it more than some kind of. Yeah, Iwan Spear. It's like a subtle reference to Sid, even though he's not in this game. Because Sid is a dragoon who uses spears. But you know what's more powerful than a spear? A flag. I'm just gonna smack the Heartless with a flag.
Upsy daisy.
Take this!
Well, Sid from Final Fantasy VII, who's also in Kingdom Hearts.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You for gore? That's okay. So did Square Enix.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, there have been quite a few Sids in the Final Fantasies. One day we'll have the final of Sids. I do like that in Magic, the card for Sid has a printing for each character named Sid and gives and allows you to have any number of Sids in your deck. Oh, this is useless. I somehow spawned above them.
It's over. There.
This flag seems to grow. You notice that? Legendary human Sid. Is it really? I don't remember, but I would believe you.
Full thrust. Get him. Again, that's it. Together. Get him. Again, that's it. Together.
Might go good in Infinity for artifacts. It's a shame there's no good artifacts in the history of Magic the Gathering.
Full speed.
And with Imagine Dragons' first album.
Piece of cake.
And yet it sounds like their most recent.
Something big's coming your way.
Gotcha. I'll take care of it.
Imagine a second song. So alarmed you didn't even see what kind of dog? Oh my goodness, you were distracted. Best description of Imagine Dragons I ever heard was, they want to write an anthem song, but they don't know what they want to write an anthem for. Baymax, you want to heal me? You're a health droid, right? No, Jack's is a very quintessential Utah band. Yeah, so quintessentially Utah that they pretend they're not from there. Oh yeah, no, they are Southern culture. That's part of them being the culture, actually, I think. That's the joke.
Try this. So long.
I like that, if I remember correctly, this is actually not a single Heartless, but it's a symbiotic relationship of several Heartless.
Hit the target on one of the buildings. Gotta go after it.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going.
Target so you don't lose track of it.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna run there with my flag. You know what? I'm gonna lose it anyway, so I'm gonna attack these things on the wall. I don't think that works. Nope. It spawned me well below them. I have a feeling doing a hot, splash run up here would be a bad idea. Because it'd probably just fall off instantly.
Come on! Here we go!
Boom. $18. Actually, 19. I realized because there's the other one of they're running.
Just try and catch me.
Wasabi, you have terrible
Got an
aim.
idea.
Hey! I can't aim if I can't see. Huh?
Better?
Much better.
Maybe you should still practice your aim.
What? Oh, I get it. It's the combo move!
Fred, you're a nerd. No need to aim if all you have is grenades.
Nice,
I
Baymax.
think you still have to aim a little.
Huh? What?
Now we fist bump.
Fist bump?
to display excitement. Hero taught it to me.
So, like this?
Ba-la-la-la-la-la.
Ba-la-la-la-la-la?
Goofy's into it. Nope, nope, no, Gale, no.
Another one?
We're here!
Can't we pick on one our own size?
It looks the right size to me.
Watch me scorch them with my freeze-nado! The only tornado made of ice and fire.
You took on the wrong composition.
And the wrong captain of the guard.
Prepare to face Keyblade Hero 3!
Oh, come on.
Look, but even
And
Donald
the
isn't
crime-fighting
into it.
team of Big Hero 6. Together, we're unstoppable.
Yes!
20!
Was that awesome? Or was that totally awesome?
Hey, that's not sea salt ice cream. What are you doing, Donald?
Pretty good.
Your magic is amazing. Do you think I could study it sometime?
Why not?
You just made Donald's day.
My brother wanted to help people. Now we try to do the same.
Your brother?
Yeah, Tadashi. There was a fire and now he's gone.
If he is Roxy, don't
But
tell
he always wanted to make a
Daisy.
difference. He cared about people. That's why he worked so hard to create Baymax.
I'm sorry.
He's still here. In Baymax. In all of us.
Tadashi, he lives on in your hearts.
Huh? Yeah. Right.
Now, I haven't seen Big Hero 6 in a
He will
long time,
always be a
but
part
isn't
of
Tadashi
us,
the villain?
In some way.
And when you're not strong enough, he'll make up the difference.
That's yeah. I thought the big twist was that his brother
Sora,
was the villain all
okay?
along.
Yeah, fine.
Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
I'm with you.
Oh no, he just died. Okay, I thought that it was somewhere in my brain had it that he faked his death. He's the baby's mom. Wow.
What?
Data cubes.
Great, they're back.
Oh, we got this.
Time for a lesson.
Charge!
Wait! Guys! That one's not like the others! It can't
Yeah, I haven't
be.
seen it in a long time. I just remember
Microbots?
seeing it going, eh.
Microbots?
Huh?
You know what they are?
Well, they're different from Heartless.
Or are they? They're data heartless.
Microbots are designed to do whatever you think via a neurotransmitter that communicates what you're...
Huh?
They're kind of a mini bot I invented. Some bad stuff happened and I thought that meant they were totally gone. But those enemies are way too similar. Which means someone's controlling them. The question is who? Huh. Could it be? I'm gonna go back to the garage and look into it some more. You mind going after him?
Sure.
Of course.
We need you on the sciencey stuff.
Because we're not going to understand it.
Hey, Max? Stick with them.
All right, Hero. Sora, Donald, Goofy. I will be your personal healthcare companion.
Thanks, Baymax. We're in good hands. Come on, let's move!
And by let's move, let's take a commercial break. Gonna take 3-ish minutes, so get a chance to get up, stretch your legs, get a drink of water, do what you need to do, and we will be right back with more Kingdom Hearts 3, so don't go anywhere. And we are back.
Whew, that was close.
It's dark. I can't see where I'm going. If I go up, I have better view. You know, it's probably a good thing Sora doesn't have a fear of heights.
Targeting.
I seem to recall some chests being around here. Like that one.
Let's see.
Who needs glide? Sora has found how to master gravity. Nope, Sora. The treasure chest. It was a skill ring issue. Thank you.
Sora, head for the place Hero mentioned.
Goofy, we just got that intel. Calm down.
I know what to do, Sora.
I don't know if I trust Goofy when he says that. I just wanted to open the treasure chest.
Mickey's Mechanical Man! Look, Mickey's got a big kingdom. He needs someone other than just, what are the names? Those little rats.
Around here. Let's see
They
if
work at my
there's
gummy
more.
ship shop. Chip and Dale, that's who I'm thinking of. I can't remember their names. I don't know why, but I need more than just Chip and Dale to work as mechanics in my city.
Target acquired.
They're not Microbots. Be careful.
Hey, that kind of looks like a heart.
I will endeavor to protect you.
Oh no, we cannot do anything. Our feeble attacks do nothing. So you're putting you on the spot, but making impressions are against your religions. How many religions do you have, Peter?
It's no fair.
You're calling
Why
for
can't
Pope.
we hurt
Huh?
it?
Hello, Pope Leo. It's Mickey. How are you?
What do we do? Oh?
This is weird.
Sora, you guys all right?
Oh,
If you call the
yeah,
Pope thing.
but the target escaped. Have you got any leads?
Tons. Somewhere inside that thing, there is a core. It's what powers the whole cluster. The core is the only way to hurt it. Now he tells us. Wasabi, what happened? Let's just say it's a handful. Check in.
So far, so good. Guys, I am really tired of just dodging this thing.
Freddy getting frustrated.
Imagine explaining the Kingdom Hearts plot to the Pope while doing a Mickey voice.
Huh? Your Holiness, it's simple. There's goodness and there's badness. Light versus dark. There are seven protectors of light and 13 seekers of darkness. And when they clash, Kingdom Hearts will come about.
Yeah, they're dark, they're cubes. I call them like I see them. Every bad
Also,
daddy
is
needs
this
a cool name.
21?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Maybe 22? I think it's 22.
We'll gather as much data from the dark cubes as we can.
So you've heard of Gnosticism, right? You've heard of It's really more civilianism.
Figure out a way for us to beat this thing. Huh?
But guys, I can't leave you out there all alone.
Or actually, it's really more Docetism.
Hero. We are a team. And teams delegate. We need you at the garage.
We trust you. So you trust us.
Fine. I'll look for a way that we can expose the Dark Cube's core. Just keep that data coming. Copy.
Hero, what should we do?
You protect the others. I'll mark their position for you on your AR display.
We got it! Time to go, Baymax!
All right.
Sora, Dark
Did you see Docetism? Maybe I'm getting my heresies mixed up. I'm just trying to think which has the demiurge of light and dark fighting. Jansenism has something like that. It's not unique to one heresy. It's been a while since I've studied my heresies, so I know like what would be a heresy, but I forget like what name goes with what thing, if that makes sense. You hear that, it's heresy? You're not unique. I mean, really, when you get down to it, a lot of the heresies of the early church are really just kind of variations on a couple of flavors. Like, there's literally a chart that you can pretty easily put them to based on their Christology for the most part. Obviously, some go beyond just Christological errors, but... What ideals are indicative of what flavor of heresy it is? Get out of my head! No.
Ah, the French.
Sir, what? Rude. Oh yeah, they have health bars. I should actually be like helping them.
Sora, please climb on.
Glad to help, Mel.
Go! Are you in there?
Sora! I don't know how to stop this thing. I tried slowing it down with my disc.
You see anything big you can smash against it?
Oh, what about that big red thing from the studio?
I don't remember where that is. Make Donald speak more Japanese. I could do that if I turned on the Japanese voices. It's pretty fun to listen to the soundtrack, because the version I have, well, I guess the original soundtrack is in Japanese. And so there's a couple songs, especially from 2, where Donald sings. Oh, I so need to update that. I haven't listened to Thunder. I at least have Thundara, if not Thundaga.
Gracias, Sora! Next time I won't go so easy on them.
Honey Lemon, I'm glad you're safe.
I think you have enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3 and 2 gameplay looks much smoother. Yeah, but I think the plot would have annoyed you even more. You might like 3 if you just skip all the cutscenes.
Fred, you okay?
I'm getting called into destruction. You think you can freeze my arms and legs? Gotta find a weak point and lose this dark grip.
Pure appreciation, my man.
I still can't believe that you went straight to 2 and you didn't even try 1. I mean, you probably wouldn't like 1 because of its controls, but because they're a little janky, especially if you try original 1.
Woo!
If you could skip cutscenes, that would be helpful. Yeah, but then you'd be missing, you know, some of the fun of Kingdom Hearts. Hands made you try 1. Was it like OG 1, like on a PS2, or was it the HD remakes? Okay, where's Wasabi? There's Wasabi. The fun, like counting the cutscenes, yeah. Well, that's only in 3, really. You're missing part of Kingdom Hearts, but would I be missing out? Oh, you put it that way. Yes. Wrong way. Ah, I hate aiming in this mode.
Wasabi, can you hear me?
Sora, am I glad to see you? I am part of this
Back off!
Finally! Thanks for the save, Sora.
You play all the games, still don't understand what's happening, so... so it is still the Kingdom Hearts experience. Never mind. Forgive me. Okay, now I have to find the orb. Nope. Sora, please. No, Sora, please. Go-Go is very sick. Chat, if you see a giant red orb, sing out. There it is. This Go-Go are very sick.
Hold on. Hurry!
No, you don't, Goofy. This is actually not going to help. Orb! Whenever the orb isn't on screen, everyone should be asking, where's orb? Hey, so random thought. There's a Thomas the Tank Engine game that's very popular with streamers recently. It made me realize Thomas is an 060. Anyway.
Thanks.
Where did orb go? See? He knows. Where'd father go?
Looks like you're hurt, Go-Go.
Yeah.
Listen, Sora. The
23.
Dark have converged on a single location. Whatever's happening can't be good. I'm almost done pinpointing the core. If you need me to help.
Nah, it's okay, Hero. We're on it.
Nah, don't do the thing that you're doing. It's okay. Payback strike is good. Sure, risk dodge. Yep. Oh. The counter impact. Ooh, leaf bracer. That's pretty good. Okay, that's good. I need to customize my fire, or my my shortcut spells. You know what? Sure. Donald! We were just in a pause menu, that's all.
Yeah.
It's so dark I can't see a thing. I wonder if part of the darkness is because my capture card's getting old. Miss Orb. Orb abandoned you.
So long.
Sora, please climb off.
Okay, there's a lot of them.
What do you suppose they'll do?
I don't think we want to find out.
No, that's too bad, because we're going to.
I say, we destroy this thing!
24.
But without a strategy, we'd just be wasting our strength.
If we knew where to strike...
Sora, I got it. I'm sending you an AR software update. It'll show you where the core is. The Dark Cube's weak point. I'm coming to help.
Huh? That's weird. Is it busted? Hero, who's that on the display?
That's not the display. He's really here.
Huh?
Sorry, it's a
Black coat. He's back?
It's an org member.
Are you done messing around?
What? Wait. That voice.
Hold on. You know this guy?
And now, enter the supervillain.
He definitely has the vibe.
Funny.
It's Riku.
Riku. But...
As if this stupid experiment wasn't already a hassle.
Again, this would have made more sense if Sora hadn't already been like, oh,
Hero,
seeing Riku go
do you
off
recognize
into
it?
the realm of darkness to go find Aqua. But anyway.
Not quite ready.
Or actually,
That's the first chip
if he had been like, oh, he went off to the realm of darkness, maybe he fell, that maybe this is him.
Programs?
Yeah, they tell Baymax how to react.
Does that mean it's like his heart?
Kind of.
More than...
Everything's like a heart.
Riku!
Hurt.
Oh no!
Sora, I'm on my way. I'll look after my team. You guys fight the Dark Cube. Remember to use the AR device to target the core.
I got it!
Sora doesn't know what any of those words mean.
Yeah! Yeah! See ya!
Sir, show me your core. Let me hurt you. Ow.
Back off!
This might be one of your favorite non-boss battle themes. Yeah, it's a good one. It's like a mini boss theme. Hey, you take care, Bacon. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope you find good either spiritual enlightenment or comfort or what you're seeking and what you're reading in the scripture. Yeah, it's like a non character boss theme. It's a good one. I wish I could remember what the track is called, because they have some really fun names. I could grab my box set of the 1.5, 2.5 HD soundtrack over there, but the problem is it's all written in Japanese. Sinister Shadows. See? It's a great name. I love that it has eyes in that shot for no good reason.
Baymax. Oh, this isn't for you. At least, not until we're done.
Riku! Is it you? Why do you look like that?
Looks are deceiving, but the heart? You know that it's me.
I know Riku wouldn't do this. Not without a good reason.
See, again, this would have been better earlier in the game.
When did that ever matter? We've been trying
3
to one-up
Rikus,
each
4
other
swords,
since we
and
were
a partridge on a
kids.
pear tree.
What?
The coat means he's with Organization 13. And that means he's not really Riku.
Smarter than you look.
We defeated Ansem and Xehanort, every last one of them. But still, they all came
25,
back
by the way.
anyway, right?
Last
So
Kingdom Hearts my
maybe
true love
this
gave to
Riku
me.
came back too, from the time when Ansem possessed him.
13 Xehanorts.
What? How?
Unlike a certain wizard you know, I had to play by the rules to travel through time. Which meant
What certain
leaving my
wizard?
body behind.
Huh?
Are you calling Xehanort a wizard?
I know about this. But you have a body.
Xehanort's heart left his body in order to voyage back through time. He needed to tell his younger self of the great plans he had in store. There in the past,
that's
his
cyclical.
heart stayed and waited out the years until you and I came along. Xehanort's heart possessed me and became Ansem, the first adversary you faced. The rest of him, the piece he left behind, took the name Xemnas and created the first organization. It was all a part of a larger plan to bring Xehanort into contact with the right hearts, enough of them to form the real Organization 13. They could come from anywhere, any when, just as long as he had the right vessels at hand to place their hearts in.
Didn't we already know this?
Replicas.
That's right. The replica program
Well,
was
not only have we played the
success.
other games, we have established
We
this
are as
already
real
in
as
this game
people.
earlier.
Then pack up and leave. What are you still doing here?
To see if we can recreate a heart from data.
What?
Sorry. Did we steal your idea? That
What?
walking balloon
Roxy,
over there has
How
a
did
heart.
it time you out? Anytime anyone else posts a link, it
least
just
that's
gets
the nonsense I'm
auto-deleted,
supposed to
but it
believe.
timed you out?
There are hearts all around us. You only have to see them for them to become real.
Where'd you get that? That's my chip. I made it.
That's actually a good question.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But I promise I'll put
He
it
gets
right
mad
back
at it.
where I found it. What do you mean? I think I'll be getting back to work now.
Wait!
We gotta stop him! Guys! Huh?
You are all suffering from acute exhaustion. I recommend rest.
Yeah, you're right. Let's regroup.
Come on, guys. What's with all the long faces? Did you forget that we won?
Did we, though?
Fred. Not now.
Huh?
His name is Riku? And you know him?
Yeah. Well,
His name
I know
means Earth?
him.
That one is a fake.
The fake one's with Organization 13, our arch nemesis.
Okay, but
I
how
don't think
he
that's a
get
word,
Hero's
but
chip?
I respect.
And what did he mean about an experiment?
And what do they want?
He said they're trying to recreate a heart from data. But I don't know what they really want. None of us do. These guys, they show up, and instead of fighting fair and square, they go for the heart and say things to try and get under your skin. They're cowards. And now they're doing it to you, too. It's our fault.
No. This could be good. That chip might finally be able to give me some answers.
You said that you made it, right?
Yeah, this Baymax, he's actually the second model.
Fortunately, he doesn't
No
have
offense.
existential qualms with that.
I am a robot. I cannot be offended.
It's a long story, but the first Baymax and the chip I made vanished into another dimension along with the microbots. The chip's back. So the first Baymax might be back too.
Hiro.
Those who suffer a loss require support from friends and loved ones.
Oh.
What was that?
I don't know.
Guys,
Team, let's
come
go.
on!
Oh yeah, they're in this game.
What?
Why are you snooping around?
That would be none of your concern.
Overstep and darkness will consume you again.
What an interesting thing to say. I shall do anything I please. As should you.
This game just Maleficent's so dirty and makes her such a bad
Oh,
villain.
I intend to.
Because she doesn't get to do anything.
Who's he? Friend of yours?
Yes, though I could not tell you from when.
Let's see.
Also, we are canonically in the United States right now. The states colored blue have reported colony collapse disorder. Oh, well, that's, you know, comforting. Except not. The year thing is a little too fuzzy to make out. Too Max, Too Furious. I have no Damascus.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go do this. Let us go defeat the thing.
Hope it's learned some new tricks.
Yeah, now it's gotta face all of us.
That's right.
Freddy want to destroy!
our probability of success is...
You don't have to crunch the numbers, Baymax. It's not the sum of our parts. It's the sum of our hearts.
Yeah.
Sora's thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so brilliant.
To what?
Everyone else is like,
Show
cringe.
me. Almost there.
What?
This pile of junk collected the data we needed. The terror of being attacked without warning. The despair of having no place to run. The longing for vengeance.
A heart's more than that.
I don't think you can quantify those sort of things.
Smiling at something funny.
Trusting friends.
In every heart, there's hope.
Yes.
You're right.
Huh?
That's why I made sure our creation fought you. Now the data contains a complete heart.
A heart made from conflict? That can't be
our
real.
thoughts against
You
us.
said, I only have to
26?
see it for it to become real.
Or 27? I think we're up to
So,
27.
let's see it. First, we need a vessel.
A nuclear vessel?
What's going on?
Another dark cube form?
Doesn't look as bad as the last one.
It could be a trick.
Usually is.
We can stop it!
Yeah.
Wait! That's Baymax.
What? Huh? No way.
This Baymax has been listening to too much emo music.
Baymax.
Don't bother. This puppet has lost his heart. He won't wake up.
He's not a puppet! Baymax is like my family. Please, give me back my friend.
Yes.
Huh?
I did promise I'd put this back where I
This would have
found
been
it.
more impactful if there wasn't a second Baymax right behind us.
But there's one piece missing. Sora, you're the one who's going to complete this heart.
Yeah, right.
You can't have a heart without sadness, without loss. You see, you're going to destroy Hero's friend right in front of him.
Wait!
That's actually pretty evil.
Oh no.
Hero! Hero, tell us, what should we do?
Baymax means everything to me. But that chip isn't who he is. I already made this mistake once before. Tadashi wouldn't want there to be a Baymax that hurts people. Sora, he has to be stopped.
Okay, help Gogo and the others. You can leave this guy to us.
Thank you.
Oh no!
Sora, take Baymax.
And then suddenly the boss became a rail shooter and is really uninteresting.
I am ready, Sora.
Like, if this mechanically was a mini-boss, I'd be like, okay, sure. But the fact that it's the final boss of this world, and it's the last boss before the final act, it's kind of like, oh. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't rapid firing earlier. Pew, 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 pew. Sir, that was a lot of cubes.
Thank you.
I got out of the way of that. I disagree. We're through 3 of his 10 health bars thus far, by the way.
What?
You have been injured.
And people who don't like the flying mechanics of Peter Pan and Little Mermaid in one, this one feels even worse in my opinion.
Understood.
27-ish.
Thank you.
We're also at this boss fight.
Let's go.
Certainly.
Get up again. That's it. Together.
Sure, it'd be nice to control my vertical movement in a flying section, but, you know.
require medical care.
That was close. Get him!
You just kind of vaguely move in his direction. $28.
Guys. Hero.
So, did we stop him?
Are we the good guys?
Safety mode kicks in if he's put under too much stress. So he's probably just in stasis. We'll have to destroy the chip if we want to be certain.
But... are you sure?
Yeah, dude. You don't need to go that far.
Yeah, actually he does.
Maybe we can find another way.
Mm-mm. It's the right thing to do. Tadashi would have done the same thing.
But Hero, isn't that Baymax's heart?
So you keep old software and firmware versions. Fair enough.
That's okay. Baymax is here.
See, and over there, you literally have.
I should be the one.
But we don't know how to animate it.
Ow.
29.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
Thanks. What? Do you think I could take one of them with you? No. Come on. No. Who's gonna repair him? One. Just one of them. Come on, please. He's my personal healthcare companion.
Did you do Baymax's get stuck in an infinite hug loop? Sure. Nanomachines. $30.
Oh. Sora, somebody's calling us on the gummy phone.
Yeah, I think he's worked that one out by now.
We got bad news.
Huh?
We've totally lost contact with the King and Riku. They're all on their own in the realm of darkness.
Oh. That is bad news.
See? I knew I should have gone.
Trump, how do we get to him?
Now we can ask?
It's not like we can use that big old door anymore. It's completely gone.
Yeah, we closed it after beating Ansem.
And we certainly can't ask the king or Riku.
'Cause you wouldn't let me ask.
Got a point.
King Mickey can open a door to the realm of darkness.
Huh?
It's because he has a special Keyblade of Darkness. He figured out how to make it open
Yeah, it's
the
Kingdom
way.
Key D. Why do you think?
Gorge, what'll we do then?
May my heart be our guiding key. It'll show us the way.
It has to.
Okay. But where does it lead?
Hurry,
I
Sora.
think it kind of matters.
Okay. Why do you think that gate took us here?
Why is there a Keyblade just lying on the beach? For the record,
A
that's Master
Keyblade?
Ericus's. Can't just say that, Donald.
How did it end up here?
Maybe it's another guiding key.
Sure, but to guide us where?
To the weird, creepy door of darkness in the cave. Or that door.
A door!
Let's go!
Doesn't this seem a little
Not you guys.
too convenient?
The realm of darkness. It isn't safe for you.
Forget it. I'm going.
No.
Yeah, you can't make a whole pint without us.
Come on, guys, think about it. Even the king and Riku struggled in the realm of darkness. Someone needs to stay out here just in case. If something happens to the rest of us, you two need to carry on.
But they're not Keyblade wielders.
Stop it.
We understand, but we don't want you going someplace dangerous on your own.
Thanks, guys. But I'll be fine. I'll make sure Riku and the king are safe. Trust me.
You promised to be good.
No.
And come home nice and safe?
Right.
That wasn't a yes.
Riku, look! Riku!
Mickey!
Drew out their Kingdom Hearts moments in the Earl experiment. GPT. No, I'm still giving chatbots too much credit.
this Keyblade.
Is it her?
Mickey. You're too late.
Duh.
Aqua?
What happened?
We're never too late for redemption,
You
Aqua.
abandoned me. That's what.
No, he didn't actually.
Left me in this shadow prison for more than a decade, knowing what it would do to me.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
I reached this shore after endless wandering.
Nah, she's
Waited
just full of
forever
darkness.
for help to arrive. But no one ever came.
It's like Norton adjacent.
I lost my Keyblade. Had no means of fighting my way
It's never
back
explained
from the
how you
Heartless.
lost your Keyblade, because you had it at the end of
should
0.2
have known
back
I was
cover final
stranded.
chapter, whatever.
Do you have any idea how lonely it is here? How frightening it is to have no one? All that's left in my heart is misery and despair. And now, you can share it.
Oh, this boss fight is pretty cool.
There's no need. Got my own.
I have my own pet darkness. I keep it on a shelf next to my pet rock. Why does he have the Keyblade? He shouldn't have the Keyblade. Well, I guess Riku... No, Riku did leave the Keyblade for him already. That happened. Maybe the real darkness was the frenemies we made along the way? And I can't believe there were 3 answers on Goth on Friday that were the friends we made along the way. Why do you have the Keyblade? Shut up! Okay, fair enough. That made you upset? That was so funny, though. The fact that they all had separate hashtags, too. Is that why your computer crashed?
You're done! Take this! Take this! Fire! Sorry! Gotcha! Heal! You're done!
Oh, panic. Panic. Pressing the wrong buttons. Because I get thrown off. The shortcuts they make for Riku are so different.
Sorry! You're done! Sorry!
I can't read that whole thing right now because boss fight, so I'm going to say Linux.
Take this! Sorry! Take this! Take this!
I love that the command is just Sora.
Sora.
What up, Riku? Also 33.
Huh?
You say my name?
I made it!
You're welcome, Peter. You know I'm in the middle of a boss fight. And plus, I don't think talking about your indexing files is the most heartfelt thing, I dare say.
Oh no!
They did the cinematics of this scene very well.
Wow, Sora?
And that, the particle effect of the water.
I had a little help. Watch over the king. I've got this.
Okay.
I think it would have been cooler if you did get to keep Arrakis' Keyblade just for this one fight. Raw panic. A little rage form, this is a treat. I will not be using the pirate ship attack against her in this fight. I don't know why they give it to you. It kind of undercuts the moment when you're on a giant neon pirate ship. I think Crystal Snow might actually be a little better here. Oh no, she's doing Spellweaver. Okay, she's on her last health bar. We are so close. We are so close. No, she's out of bounds. Yes! Pretty Lady's your favorite Keyblade wielder. That's a good choice. She's pretty awesome. We knocked the darkness out of her. If your friend is falling to darkness, just smack them on the head until the darkness goes away. $33.
So, this is the end.
Aqua!
Sora St. Nicholas.
Sora.
Aqua! Aqua.
Ven. Terra.
Aqua!
Aqua!
It's you.
Thank goodness! You're awake!
Mickey. Are these the Destiny Islands?
The one and
That's
only.
right.
Hey, it's the
When
children.
did they fall to darkness?
She didn't give these children weapons. That was Ventus and Terra. She gave Kyrie a weapon as a child.
You're in the realm of light.
You're home. You're home!
Welcome home.
Smile, but with big tears.
We did it!
And now Radiant Garden for some reason. 34. Even though we stopped counting because we reached the limit, but...
What? Quiet, you dunce!
But dude, why would you pick me?
I cannot let the Chosen catch wind of this, understand?
Oh, I see. It's because I got benched.
I got benched too!
What? Hey, quiet!
You both been benched, and yet you both have Nord
Okay,
eyes.
man, look. Real talk, backstabbing those guys would be stupid. If they find out, we are yesterday's toast. I mean, what's in it for me?
Forgiveness.
Huh? For what?
Men like us. In the pursuit of science, we sometimes make terrible mistakes. Lose sight of our mission to help people. But now I can help someone with my research. Now I can atone.
I'm not a scientist.
Wait!
Come on, dude.
I love
I'm
that delivery.
useless. I'm chicken. We're not friends. I can count the number of times you and I have hung out on one hand. Less than one hand. I didn't even know you in the old life.
Fine. But listen.
Huh? No way!
It's true. The whole thing was his idea.
Huh? No stinking way.
He wants to atone too. But he is one of the Chosen, so his hands are tied. Hence my actions on his behalf. Hence my need for you to act on my behalf should all go awry. As you said, we are far from friends. No one would ever suspect you.
So I'm not doing any fighting.
Priorities.
And more importantly, no bench warming.
Ha! Yeah, baby, sign me up. Yes.
Well, that was easy.
Demix time.
What was that whole cutscene about? Great question.
We've come a long way toward reconstructing
It's
Roxas's
an actual
heart.
bench warmers.
But a vessel.
Yeah, it's a basketball
without
themed
that-
world.
Yeah, right. Bodies don't grow on trees, Ienzo. It's the backup plan or nothing now. But the backup plan isn't a true solution.
Yeah, finally. About time.
Find out what it was about in Kingdom Hearts 4. Nah, we'll find out about it in Kingdom Hearts 7.
Nice place.
Demix? Is that you?
Hey, Zexion! Long time!
Have a body.
How's humanity treating ya? I rejoined the Nobodies. But, like, I just can't shake the feeling I've been sweet-talked, you know? We have got to have a chat.
Whoa. Back up. What?
Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm actually here on a top-secret mission. Apparently, I'm so off everyone's radar that I'm just the guy to handle a special delivery. Ta-da!
He's so off the radar. Making him the master of masters, maybe.
Master Ansem!
Ah, well met, little Ienzo.
Sir, they couldn't afford voice actors for us.
They told me you'd gone mad. That you abandoned us. I was just a boy. But I should have known better. I am truly, deeply sorry.
I don't think you have anything to be
What
sorry for.
matters is that you recognize the mistake.
What? Well, hold
Peace,
on. Whoa.
Ienzo.
That feels
It was
wrong.
I who was consumed by hatred, who failed you in my obligations as your mentor. Forgive me.
You could have led with that.
So, are we cool to get on with things here?
Oh.
Got you a present from Vexen. One was all he could manage for the time being, but hey, he figured you guys would know what to do with it.
A vessel!
You sure about this, Aqua?
If you want, we can take you back to Master Yen Sid's
Why does it
tower
feel like
to
this one's
rest
rendered
with Riku and the
differently?
king.
Thank you. But Ven's expecting me. I promised to wake him. Said I'd be right back, but I'm not even close. I'm in for an earful.
Oh. Oh.
That'll be quiet.
Oh.
So wait, you're the one who made the nightmare torture castle that we had to live through? We love Nightmare Torture Castles. Well, I can actually play the original now. I got a copy of it finally.
Ready?
Oh. We're so ready, in fact, that that's where we're actually going to leave it as a cliffhanger until next time. Because it's time to wrap up the show. So thank you so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Join us again tomorrow for Spirituality Tuesday. We're playing Timothy and Titus. I'm very excited about this game. I'm so excited about this. You have no idea. I played about 2 minutes of it and decided, yep, that's all I need to see. It's not good. Wednesday's Midweek Minecraft, as always. Thursday, what are we playing? What did we just play? Oh, Aria of Sorrow. We're going to keep doing Aria of Sorrow. And then Monday, back to Kingdom Hearts. So thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Thank you for checking out the YouTube and the Discord. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and let's see who's live that we can raid into. Going to throw you on over to Hollow Blossom. She's playing One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. What is it? One Piece or 3? Make up your mind. Anyway, raid call is Father Raid. Go give Blossom some love. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. God bless.